Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to show you how I went from plasterer to digital nomad and how you can copy me exactly so that you can take all the steps so you can do it without all the pain and the mistakes that I made. You can follow this step-by-step guide and it will be everything you need to go from whatever your situation is, maybe a 9 to 5, maybe you work in construction like I did, to go to a digital nomad where you can work anywhere in the world. I'm currently in Vietnam, in Da Nang, after spending 3 months in Bali. And to start off with, I'm going to go through my story, but don't worry, it won't be too long, and it's more to show you the mistakes that I made so you don't have to go through the same pain and mistakes that I made. And then we've got a 3-step process of how you go from your current situation to your dream situation of being a digital nomad and being able to work where you want, when you want, not having to ask for holidays. Like today I didn't start work till 11 AM and yeah, I can finish whenever I want. So this is exactly what I'm going to show you, and we'll dive straight into my story and my mistakes. So to start off with here, March 2023. So I was a plasterer and I just started content creation. I had around 65,000 followers on TikTok, and in that time I got the occasional brand deal making a few £100s, but it wasn't enough to sustain me. But I thought maybe if I grow my following more, that is where I'll get the progression. So I quit my job in March 2023, and that is where I started to travel, and I went with around £8,000 in my bank. So I traveled that whole time. I think I went to 5-6 countries, constantly reaching out to brands, constantly making content, and I did actually grow my audience quite a bit. But what I realized then and then, like, relying on brand deals is so tough, and being a content creator is one of the toughest ways to actually become a digital nomad. You'll see people online with millions of followers and they'll get paid like 10k plus for a brand deal. But if like you get a brand deal 1 month and then for a couple of months you don't get anything, and it causes this anxiety of, oh, I don't know where my next money is coming from. So essentially I did that. In September I got a great deal. I got flown out to by Sheraton hotels to Greece, got paid a couple of grand for that. But by that point I was skint, and I just knew that it wasn't the way I could become a digital nomad. So in October, I flew home and went back to my job that I swore I'd never go back to, plastering. And I'd already told everyone, I'm not coming back, I'm gonna be a digital nomad, this is it, see you later. And then I came back and it was so embarrassing. I got a lot of stick. If you know what it's like working on a construction site in the UK, it's pretty brutal. I got a lot of stick and I failed in the eyes of a lot of people, and I kind of failed in my own eyes because I thought that was the time. But I went back to the drawing board and realised I don't want to rely on brand deals. I want monthly income coming in every month, and I want it to be in my control. So I started researching online, what could I do with my current skill set, where I was able to edit a few videos. I knew how to kind of grow a social media following, but you can do this with any online skill essentially. And I found social media marketing agency. So I thought, okay, I can set up an agency. I can just offer my content services to different companies, hopefully bring them in some customers and charge a monthly retainer. At this point I didn't really know what I was doing, but I thought that was a good plan. So I saved up £5,000, and in January 2024, that is me leaving to go to Bangkok. I had no clients, no idea what I was doing, but I was a man on a mission, and I wanted to be in a sink or swim situation, but we'll go on to that more later because it is so important. So January, Bangkok, I was just sending out emails, got to February, still had nothing. I was like, oh my God, I've made a big mistake. 3.5k left in the bank. And then finally I changed up my strategy, spoke to a few people that had knowledge in the industry, and it all changed. And I actually managed to scale my marketing agency to 5k a month, also hire a VA and a video editor within 90 days of quitting as a plasterer. And that was when I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have a skill set, really. And I still managed, just through like brute force and constantly trying, I managed to scale to 5k. And since then, I was in Bali at the time. Since then, I've now traveled to over 20 countries since the start of last January. And this is literally from today in Da Nang, Vietnam. I was just chilling on my laptop, 11 a.m, and I thought I should make this video to help other people. But yeah, in that time, I've managed to build my agency out. I've got a few people working for me. It's a lot less work. It gives me time to make YouTube videos, make content, and the actual service delivery is not really done by me anymore. And it's given me complete freedom. I was in Bali, Vietnam. Now I'm going to Cambodia soon, and then I'm heading home to travel Europe for a bit. But what I'm about to tell you is 3 steps which took me from that position here in March 2023, so you don't have to make the mistake of trying to become a content creator. Yes, it helps, but there's a quicker way to be a digital nomad, which is via an agency, and then you could do content creation off the back of that. And I'm going to tell you the exact steps which took me from a plasterer with no clue to now running an agency, traveling the world for the past 15 months. So number 1 is burning the bridges. So you have to burn the bridges, and let me explain what I mean by this. So now you're currently in the comfort zone, just like I was as a plasterer. I had a pretty well-paid job. Plasterer is quite a well-paid job. I was living at my parents' house. I didn't really have any fear or worries because I wasn't pushing myself outside my comfort zone. So now, because you've clicked on this video, you've got a goal to become a digital nomad. You have, because that is why you've clicked on this video. But you might be in this fear zone. You might think, oh, I don't want to risk doing something because I'm scared of other people's opinions. I'll find some excuses. Oh, I'll start once I've done this, once I've had 6 months learning a skill, or I'll start once my job gets a bit quieter, or I'll start just finding these excuses. And trust me, I've been there as well. And it's just, your body and mind doesn't want to go through pain. So if they're scared of something, they will make excuses. It's like when you're on a run, your body's like, oh, it's a bit tiring, we should stop. And you just kind of have to shut up those voices. And you also might lack confidence. I really did at the start, because you don't have that much to back you up. You don't have like proof or testimonials that this is going to work out. There's no one's telling you that this is going to work out, and you don't know it's going to work out because you've not done it before. But that is where the excitement comes. If you knew it was going to work out, it wouldn't be as fun. And trust me, like, the journey is the fun bit. I know it's very cliche, but it is fun. But what you need to transition to is from the fear zone to the learning zone. You need to, like, this video will help you so much, but you need to take the steps. I can't take the steps for you. I can give you all the information you need, but you can learn via theory, but you learn the most by taking action. And then you come up with a challenge or a problem when you're taking action, and that's where you go back to the theory or ask someone that might know. And then that's where you keep building until you get to this position where you can travel the world because you've built up enough knowledge and you can provide clients with enough value. So you want to get to the learning zone and then eventually the growth zone. That's where you're fully outside your comfort zone and you've kind of made it. So the way I did this was I left with just 5k in the bank. So I knew I had about 3 months worth of money, 3-4 months. And even though I thought I was putting myself in a sink or swim situation, I still kind of didn't. In the first month I was working, but I wasn't like working like this could be it. I was kind of pretending. Do you know when you used to revise at school and your parents would like, look, see if you're revising, but you weren't really taking it in, you were just doing it for show, and you were kind of tricking yourself because you didn't want to go through the pain of doing the tasks that actually need doing. So I did that, moved to Bali in February and thought, I've only got 3.5k left, and then I'm going to have to go back to plastering to all the people that I told I'm never coming back, and it'd be so embarrassing. So that's where I kind of kicked in gear and managed to scale my agency to 5k pretty much in 60 days really. So you might be in this current situation, where you are in your current situation, and if you're wanting to be a digital nomad, you're probably not happy with your current situation. You might be okay with it. Oh, my life's okay, I've got a decent job, I don't hate it, but you still want more. You want to live your dream life. So that is your dream situation there. And the only thing that's stopping you between that is consistent action to take the steps to your dream situation. So what I'm talking about with burning the bridges, so let's say you start on your journey today after watching this video. So you'll start to take some action. You're moving along, you're doing well. Like, you might have set up an offer, started creating some content, or whatever it is for your business. And you get to this current situation and you've left behind your comfortable situation, because Now you're putting yourself out there. You might be making content, you might be going on sales calls, you might be just telling people that, oh, I want to be a digital nomad. And that creates a bit of fear because it puts a bit of risk on your side. But because you're keeping your comfortable situation there, when you come up, this fire is meant to represent like pain. So maybe you go on your first ever sales call and you don't really know what you're doing. You're a bit like not very good at your sales call and you don't close them. And maybe you think, oh, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I'm just introverted and I'll never be able to build a business because I can't do sales. Like, how am I going to do this? And you're too scared to keep going through the fear again, keep going through the pain of trying to get you to your dream situation. So you then retreat to your comfort zone. You slow down, you're like, oh, I can't do it. So you just settle back into your 9 to 5. After work, you don't try and work on your business. You start drinking again. You start just putting it off. And it's because you left your comfortable situation there. So what you need to do is burn the bridge. So once you've got to this situation, you need to get rid of that comfortable situation. And if you're watching this video, you're probably in the UK, US, Australia, somewhere like that. And worst case scenario, if you leave the country, it doesn't work out, you can fly home, get another job. Like, I'm not saying you're going to end up homeless if it doesn't work out, but you want to do these little tricks to really like force yourself. So I left to go to Bangkok. I only have 5k in the bank. So I was like, once this 5k runs out, I have to go home, back to a job I absolutely hated. I did the trick of, I told everyone around me, I'm not coming back. I wasn't confident, but I thought if I told everyone, I'm not coming back, I'm going to make it this time, it then puts pressure on me because it makes it more embarrassing when I got home. And what this does is it kind of removes the comfortable situation. Like, I quit my job and everything, so if I got home, it would have been harder to find a job again. So when you come up against this pain, you fight through it. You think, this is my only option. I don't have an option to go back to my comfortable situation, or the option is not as good as it used to be. So after I failed my first sales call, I've got to go again. I've got to make this work. And that's what happened with me. I thought, I've got 2 months left of money. I have to make this work now. So that's where I started to implement the second system. So the second system is how to get your first client. Like, how do you actually go about it? And there's kind of 4 ways, which are the best ways to get your client. So to start off with is your current network. Before you start doing outbound, inbound, everything else, you want to look at who do you currently know? And you want to reach out to them because it's the easiest way to get your first client. There's already some trust built there. Like, it doesn't have to be like a full-on sales call where it's really salesy. It's someone that you know. So how do you do that? You might not want to go through like the embarrassment of asking people, oh, do you want to buy my service? Because it makes it slightly awkward, and I understand that. So first you want to compliment someone you know. They might have, I don't know, started their own business, or they might have gone traveling. You just say, oh, I love your travels, or they might make content, or whatever they do. Anything in their life, they might have got a new job. Just compliment them on it. And then what you want to ask them indirectly. So let's say you run social media marketing agency like I do. You can say, oh, by the way, I'm just launching this new business. Do you know anyone that might need social media marketing services? Or do you know anyone that's trying to build a personal brand and need their videos editing? Or anything like that, whatever your service is, or if you're a PT, do you know anyone that might be interested in PT services? And from that, you are asking them because they then think, oh, do I need that? And if they do, they might say, oh yeah, I need that. But you're not putting the pressure on them and you're indirectly asking. Or the other scenario is they do know someone. They've got a friend and they're like, oh yeah, I'll put you in touch with my friend. And then you've got this potential first client, you've got a prospect, and there's already trust built between you and them because you've got a mutual friend, essentially. So that's a great way to get your foot in the door, get your first client, and honestly, go through your contacts list. You probably know a lot more people than you think. And you think, let's say you've got 100 people in your contact list, each of them know 100 people as well. So straight away you've got 10,000 people, is my math right? Yeah, 10,000 people in your network essentially. And then next is building a new network. And this is why it's great to kind of get out there and travel and go to these entrepreneurial places. So how do you do that? One is you can connect with people online. So I was constantly connected with different content creators, different digital nomads, just dropping them a message like, oh, I love your content, or what do you do, or just building up my network slowly and slowly. And I've still chat to people for like 3-4 years who I've never actually met. But then you still help each other out, and they could be a potential client in the future, or they might be someone you can ask for advice. But the best way to do it is in places like Bali. If you go to somewhere like Bali, maybe some of the islands in Thailand are a bit entrepreneurial. Cape Town is a great one. And these places, if you go to run clubs, if you go to the gyms, expensive gyms, they're all people who might need your service. They're all people that run businesses. And it's a great way to network. One of my first clients was actually someone who I met in a villa party in Bali. And I did that in February. So I met him, got chatting to him, and he actually needed my service. And because we built up a relationship, even though it was early in my entrepreneurial journey, my agency journey, he was like, oh, I like you, I'm willing to give you a chance, sort of thing. And also this week, when was it? Last week, within the space of 3 days, I closed over £10,000 worth of deals just through friends of people I've networked with. So I networked with people in Bali, and they got messages from their friends saying, oh, we need social media services for my business or for my personal brand. Do you know anyone that can do that? And they said, oh yeah, I know this guy called Joe. And then straight away, it's such an easy sell because there's trust there. They're like, oh, my friend recommended them, so he must be good. So that is a great way. Your network and a new network is a great way to get clients. Outbound. This is one of the main ways, but people often get this wrong. They either go for quality or quantity. But what you need to do is combine the two. And you might think that is not possible because they're at different ends of the scale, but you need this non-binary thinking where you think you can do both, and you really can now, especially with AI. So if you just do quantity, just firing out unpersonalized emails, shit offer, you'll just get ignored and you're just wasting your time. And that is what I did in January when I first moved to Bangkok. And then if you just do quantity and really send them a whole pitch deck, and you're only sending 5-10 emails a day, just the chances of them replying, you're doing so much work up front for someone that might not even see it. So that is why you don't want to do that either. You need both. So what I do, I create personalized looms. And why I say personalize is I use AI to personalize them. So I've got a video and it actually kind of personalizes it for them. It says their name and also their website and everything. So it looks personalized to them. And I also have a very, very strong offer, which I can help you create. So that's a quality aspect. So when they see the email, they're like, wow, this is actually really good. And a lot of people tell me, the other offers I get are awful, but the reason I'm on the call is because I love your offer. That's what they tell me, and the personalized video. And then I use AI. I used to use VAs, but I now use AI to send out over 100 emails per day. And so I'm sending over 100 quality emails per day. So that is where you can merge the two. And that is where I was booking, last month I booked 30 calls. So I was literally booking a call every single day. And that was only sending 100 emails per day. I am going to scale past this very soon. And then finally, the last way to get your first client is inbound. But this is more of a long-term play, and it kind of depends on your market. I'd recommend starting with the first 3. And once you build up a bit of, you can do inbound, but once you build up a bit of cash through outbound and your network, that's where you can start investing a bit more in your inbound and get an editor to do it for you. But early on, you can definitely post once a day or 5 times a week. And the main thing is to understand that this is more of a long-term play, as I said. Once you crack it, it's unbelievable, but it might take 12 to 18 months to kind of get started or get your inbound going. So you have to find out where your niche hangs out. So if you're an online PT, it's probably Instagram. If it's more of a business where you're trying to reach out to CEOs, it's probably LinkedIn. So that's where you want to post your content. You can kind of post it across all of them, it's just once you made a video, you might as well post it across all. But you really want to focus on one particular platform. And you want to create valuable content for free. Say you're running ads for people in the PT industry. You want to create content around that and give them free information. If you're doing organic for CEOs, like trying to build their personal brand. Like LinkedIn, you want to be posted on LinkedIn and give free information about how to write a strong script, how to get an engaged audience. Giving all this, so you want to give out this free information and then you become the person to come to for that free information. And often they'll see the information, but they'll then pay you to implement it. So they're the 4 like methods you can use to get your first client, and then clients beyond that as well. And then finally is, once you've got them on a call, how do you close them? And that's one of the toughest things at the start. And what I'm about to tell you is a full script that you do want to use. But my number one thing as a beginner is pure enthusiasm. Work in a niche that you actually enjoy. Like, I work in a health and wellness niche, and so many of my clients have said, I work with you because you seem like a normal lad I could get on with, and you also love our product. Like, you're really interested in our product. So like, people want to work with people that get them results, but they want to work with people they like. Like, if they don't like you, they're not going to work with you. So work in an industry that you enjoy. Like, I'm chatting to like these supplement companies, like, oh yeah, I've tried Lion's Mane, vitamin B12. Like, I'm knowledgeable about it because I actually use it myself. Or ice baths and saunas, I'm like, I do them every day, I absolutely love them. And like, oh, I'm excited to use your product when we sign you. So like, I'm really showing my enthusiasm, and that's what they want, because they want that to come across in their social media. They want someone that's passionate about their business, because you've got to think that is their life. Like, they started this business, they put so much into it. They don't want to hire someone that's just like pushed to the side. And that's where you can use a bit of an advantage of being a small business compared to these big businesses where it's less personal. Like, you really show that you love their business. But yeah, let's get into the script. With all of this, this video is a lot of an overview of how I went from plasterer to digital nomad. I've got a link in the description where if you want the full script, you want all the SOPs, you want all the system to how to do the outbound, if you want to learn about the mindset, if you want to learn how to create an offer, and there's a 2-hour free course video in the description. So if you want a really in-depth course, that is where you can get it for completely free. But I'm going to talk you through the sales script just so you can get an idea of how it works and yeah, implement it on your first call. So you want to start off with an intro. So just, hi, how are you? Where are you from? How's it going? Is your week going well? Just a couple of minutes, do that. Just build a bit of micro rapport at the start. And then you want to say, do you mind if I record this video? It's just for our own use, just so we can go back to it if we ever need to. So this is so you can watch back your sales calls, because you'll get the same questions, you'll get the same objections, and you want to learn about your niche. So this is a great way to do it, where you can watch the calls back, and also you can also use different AI things like Fathom that I use, where it also do a transcript as well. And then you want to alpha frame. So you want to take control of the sales call. So by doing this, you can easily do it by just setting an agenda. So what you want to say is something like, "You're right, are you ready to get started?" They'll say yes, and be like, okay, perfect. So what we normally do is we just ask a few questions to learn more about your business, your goals, and then from there, we'll see if we're a good fit. If I think we're a good fit, I'll explain my system to you and how it would work for you. And then from there, you can decide whether you want to be a part of it or not. Does that sound good? And then they say yeah. And then from there, you're now taking control, and you don't want people firing questions at you. You want to ask the questions. So you want to ask a question, listen to them, stay silent, and then just say, okay, then ask the next question. You want to be writing notes, you want to understand all their pain points so you can use it later on. So first, establish primary motive. So what motivated you to book a call? So the reason the prospect is on the call is there is something that's made them come on the call. They've got a problem that they think you can solve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on a call. You have to know that and believe that when you're going on a call, because it is true. You don't want to go on a call like, oh, I need to sell them, I'm panicking. You want to focus on diagnosing their problem and realize that they do have a problem, which is why they're on a call. They might try and act like they don't have a problem, but they wouldn't be on a call otherwise. So you hear them out and you really want to understand this. If they just say, oh, I'm just interested to learn more information, you want to delve a bit deeper and be like, oh, like for me, I do marketing. It's like, oh, how is your marketing going? Is there any problems there? Are you doing paid? Are you doing organic? Like really delve into what the main problem is. What is their primary motive? Then you want to establish their current situation. So what's your pricing? What's your product? Do you have a current system that takes you from stranger to customer? And how do they do that? So you want to understand their current situation, and you want them to also understand their current situation, because they're not where they want to be, which is why they're on a call. So you want to indirectly cause pain. So are you currently happy with your current growth of your business? What's the current cost for a new customer for you? And they often don't know this. So they're like, oh, should I know this? Should I know this? Do you have like a system in place to convert these customers? Do you have, like, what is your current income level? All of these will create pain, because they might be like, oh, my current income level is like 5k a month. But really, they know they want a lot more, and they're not happy with the current situation. So it's building up this pain inside of them. Next, you want to define their goal. So you're currently at 5k per month. What's the goal for the next 12 months? And they might say, I want to get to 50k per month in the next 12 months. Okay, why is that? And then they'll tell you that. Oh, and what motivates you to get to that 50k a month? How will that change your business? And how will that change your personal life? So what you're doing now is building this idea in their brain. They're like, oh, I could hire some more people so I'd have more time. I'd have more time to spend with my family. I'd be able to live wherever I want. Like all these, they're like, you've told them where they are, and now you're building this dream of, oh, I don't have to be there. I could be here in this dream scenario, which you're helping to build out for them. And then next, prospect admits defeat. So you're currently making 5k a month. You want to make 50k per month. What is stopping you from getting there? And you really want to find this out. It's normally, I don't have the time, I don't have the knowledge or expertise, or I want to do it faster. Like I want to take a shortcut. I could do it myself, but it could take me 12 months. It could take you 3 months. And then you want to establish like conviction and deep emotion. So how's struggling with this problem affecting you? How's it affecting your personal life? And then when do you want to fix this problem? And how committed are you to fix this problem? So that really builds the even more pain, because now they know where they are and where they want to get to. And then they notice this big gap. And that is where you fill in the gap. So you say, statement of confidence. So thanks for all that information. I'm really, really confident we can help you and take you from 5k a month to 50k a month. Do you want me to explain how? And they'll say, yeah, can you explain? So you then state your expertise. So at JMT Media, we help health and wellness businesses generate more revenue. And we do this via blah, 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 however you do it, paid marketing, for example. And then you say the ideal customer for us, the ideal client for us is currently doing between 5 to 15k per month with a goal to get to 30 to 100k per month in the next 12 months. So it does seem that you're a really good fit for us. So what you want to do there is whatever numbers they say, you want to put it around it. So if they say 20k per month, you want to say, oh, we help businesses between 15 and 30, and then so that they feel like, wow, like I'm the perfect client for them. I'm such a good fit. And then they'll say, they might actually tell, oh, how does that work then? And that's where you vaguely pitch your offer. So you want to keep it high level. You want to keep it linked to the results. So we do this because it helps this. So we make the creatives for you. We run the ads for you. It's very hands off on your end. And that is what allows us to get this result. So you want to vaguely pitch that. And that's where the questions come. And the more you do sales calls, it'll be the same questions coming up and up and up. So you get better, you can write, that's why you record the calls, so you can write down your answers to your questions. So the question might be something like, oh, how much ad spend will it take? When do we expect results? All these sort of questions, but it massively depends on your niche, but you'll start to notice patterns. And then they'll eventually say, okay, how much does it cost? What is the price? And you want a pitch of your price essentially, but you want to create incentive around booking it as quickly as possible. You want to close them on one call. So let's say you charge £2,000 per month. So we charge £2,000 per month. That is our fee for doing X, Y, and Z. But we find our best clients are the ones that move quickly, and the ones that move quickly are the ones we provide the best results for. That is what we've found. So what we'd like to do on this call is offer you, what we can do on this call is offer you for £1,500 per month instead of the 2,000 if you go ahead on this call, because we believe that's what our best clients do, and we've seen that with a lot of clients. So we're willing to offer you a slight discount if you're willing to move quickly, because then we know we'll get you the best results. Something along those lines. I waffled a bit there, but you want to keep it concise, basically saying our best clients do this, so that is why we're incentivizing you. And then if they don't do that, you have to charge the other price if they want to do another call or something. And then from there, you'll get objections like, oh, I need to think to my partner, oh, I need to look at my budgets. But you want to try and handle and conquer these. And I'd go into that a lot more detail in the free course. But essentially, you want to understand that they're just trying to get out of it. And people don't handle their own objections. If they're unsure, they'll go away and dwell on that being unsure. You need to handle it there. If they say I need to think about it, say, is there anything in particular which you're needing more information about or which you're struggling with? And they might say, actually, like, I'm not sure about the results. Like, I'm not confident you'll provide the results. And then you can be like, well, you're in a very similar position to this testimonial that I've got, or blah, blah, blah. Or say, oh, actually, we offer a guarantee. If we don't provide these results, we'll work for you for free until you do. So in that case, you can handle the objections on the call and then hopefully close them. But that is a rough sales script. But as I said, if you go to the description, you can get the full script and full course of me talking through each stage in more detail. But that is what you need to go from a 9-to-5 to a digital nomad. You need the mindset, you need to burn the bridges, you need to take the risk. Business is very, the people that risk the most are the ones that benefit the most. You have to take risks. You can't stay in your comfort zone. You have to go for it. And by doing that, you might have to reach out to your current network. You need to reach out to new people. You need to do your outbound and willing to take the pain of doing that. But it is all worth it. I literally went from a plasterer to traveling 20 countries last year. It was the best year of my life. And that is because I was willing to go through the pain and put myself in that uncomfortable situation. And then sales, it's building that confidence, and the more you do it, like anything, you get a lot better at it. So thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, all the resources you need are in the description. And yeah, let me know what you think of the video. If you have any questions, you can also DM me on Instagram and I'll answer. But yeah, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and I've got plenty more where this came from, constantly giving value to you and also showing life as a digital nomad. So thanks for watching and see you soon.